Hello, welcome to Module 2 of our 8-week condensed term of EDU 612 or 702, using technology to teach social studies. So last week you had a busy week diving into the layout of the course, as well as some pretty heavy course content, and starting to think about the biggest assignments of the course, which will be integrating your social studies unit as well as your research paper that we'll be tackling in the next couple weeks. For Module 2, you're going to start thinking about concept attainment for students and what that looks like, especially for diverse students, and thinking also about how you might incorporate technology and arts standards into your social studies unit or units. As you know, you may choose to do one 10-lesson social studies unit or two smaller 5-lesson social studies units. This week you'll start by reading Module 2. You're going to read about differentiating instruction in the classroom. You'll read the beginnings of the UBD lesson planning approach. You'll also read about constructivist approach to the technology standards, and also about concept attainment. So it's a lot of reading, and I just want you to focus basically on concept attainment, trying the beginnings of understanding what a UBD approach is, because we'll be using that model to build our unit, and also start thinking about the specifics of your unit and how you might incorporate both the arts and technology. You'll be developing a web quest as part of your social studies unit in one of your lessons, and so you'll want to start to think about, how can I incorporate these pieces of technology so that they seamlessly fit, so that they're supporting my content and not vice versa, that I'm not saying, okay, I have to use this piece of technology, where can I jam it in, but vice versa, and saying, here's my objective, what tools might help my students access this curriculum in a more efficient way. So do your reading beginning there in Module 2, and then come back to the Moodle shell, and I'd like you to start sharing exactly what your ideas are for integrating both the arts and technology in our discussion forum. What art standards might you incorporate, and what ISTE technology standards might you incorporate in your unit? Finally, you're going to be doing some concept mapping, and that's really about laying out your unit in your mind. So you can read a little bit. You're going to be reading about concept attainment, and now you're going to be mapping out the major concept that you will be teaching in your social studies unit. So what you're going to do is create sort of a concept web or map, to help you go through the thought process necessary for taking that idea and making it into concrete lessons. So you'll start by naming your concept and defining it, and then you'll list your critical attributes of the concept. So just get a brainstorming sheet, name your concept, define what it means, and start listing those critical attributes those critical understandings that students need to know about your concept. Also list the non-critical attributes. It's important to know what students need to know in the unit and what's less critical. Choose some examples that highlight both the critical attributes and some non-examples that are closely related. Then I'd like you to use that brainstorming sheet to map out the ideas. You'll put the concept in a circle in the center of your map, and start making branches that come out from the center of that concept. Those should be your critical attributes. Name each one, and then start drawing lines that connect the pieces of that map to show how the attributes and dimensions are all connected and related to each other. So some of the strands might connect to show interrelationship. Others may just be shoot-offs of your main concept. You could add pictures or illustrations as you see fit, and you'll use any technology or any graphic that you feel is appropriate for your web. There's a lot of online tools, and also Word has some simple design tools that you can use as well. After you create your web, I'd like you to write one paragraph underneath it about how this process helped you create a clear definition of your concept, help you get a good picture of the attributes that students will need to know, and some specific examples. So you'll submit that to Moodle by the end of the week here. All right, please let me know if you have any questions or concerns as we dive into week 2.